As a public defender, Judge Karen fought for her client's rights. She was elected to the bench because she believes in doing the right thing.
I'm very passionate about helping people, period. Sometimes life pulls you from up here to down here to teach you a lesson, and you're in a valley right now. And there are lessons in this valley. I hope you learn from them.
Objective, independent justice.
You can always turn your life around. If you keep walking, you can overcome whatever circumstances you're facing.
This is Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Shane Metcalf is suing fellow parent Ethan Felder in the amount of $2,500. Mr. Metcalf claims Mr. Felder didn't properly supervise their sons and says he was stuck with the bill after they vandalized a building.
All right, Mr. Metcalf, you're suing Mr. Felder for $2,500. And you are accusing him of being negligent. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and this is your son?
Yes.
What's your name, son?
Nicholas.
Nicholas. And Mr. Felder, this is your son?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your name?
Brian.
So how do y'all know each other, the boys?
We have some art classes together this year.
Okay, so you both take art?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a required class.
Okay, but do you enjoy art?
No.
You hate art? Do you enjoy it?
I like art, yeah. I kind of help Brian out.
Okay.
In class.
With that class. Okay, so why are you suing the defendant?
I'm suing the defendant because he was supposed to be watching these kids when apparently $2,500 worth of vandalism and graffiti was committed. You know, he started to hang out with a kid from his art class whose reputation precedes him.
Okay, is that the defendant's son?
Yes, it is. Your
Okay, what type of reputation? You have a reputation?
It's mostly a misunderstanding, Your Honor.
What happened with your son and the defendant's son?
Well, they've been, I guess, working on some art project for the class.
What is the project?
What is it? It's some kind of multimedia mass art thing. It's something the kids are doing.
Mixed media.
Mixed media?
Yeah.
And it's on what type of media? It's on a canvas? Or?
It's a mural.
Oh, you're doing a mural?
Yeah.
Okay, and so how big is the mural?
It's quite large, Your Honor.
Okay.
Using like metal and fur and different things.
So you say you've been working on it at your house?
Yes.
So Brian comes over to your house to work on this mural?
Yes, up until this one time, the night in question, Your Honor.
Okay, so what happened the night in question? Tell me about the night in question.
I went and picked up the project from the plaintiff's house. I brought it over to my house.
So you guys move it back and forth?
No, only this one time. Your Honor, I got called into a shift at the last minute of the hospital. Otherwise, I would have been able to watch the kids as I have. I made a deal with the defendant where he would watch the kids, and here we are.
Watch the kids?
Well, we watch the kids. But
what does watch the kids mean?
It means not have graffiti on the side of the wall.
No. When you say I had a deal with him to watch the kids, unfold your arms.
Okay.
To watch the kids, what is it that you expected?
I expected him to keep them from getting into the kind of mischief that leads to me having to spend $2,500.
What happened tonight? You took the mural over to your house.
Your Honor, we had an agreement to always be present when the kids were together.
Okay.
Either at his house or at my house. I was there. They were working on the project in the garage. I was inside the house. I did check on them twice.
Right.
While they were working on the project.
Right.
At some point, they left the garage. I guess they walked to the store, is what I was told.
Where'd you go, Brian?
So my dad lets me go over to the gas station, like the store that's like a block and a half from our house.
To do what?
Just to get a donut this time. We just wanted to...
Is that right, Nicholas? We went over to the gas station to get some donuts?
Yeah, I mean, he says his dad's chill. He always talks about how his dad's really chill, and so he said it wasn't a big deal if we just walked down the street to like all the shops and stuff. So
then what happens?
So we went down there, and Nick apparently had brought some of the spray paint we were using for the project.
Right. You didn't know he brought the spray paint?
I didn't notice it, no.
Well, where was the spray paint then? Nicholas, where was the spray paint?
I just put it in my backpack, but he saw me put it in my backpack.
Well, what you need a backpack for? You just going to get some donuts and come back?
I mean, I had some cash in it, so I just...
Right. But you don't have a wallet? Where do you keep your cell phone?
I just keep a little bit of extra cash in my backpack.
Where do you keep your cell phone?
In my pocket.
Okay, why didn't you keep some money in your pocket? You were going to get donuts. What's that, $2?
He wanted, I didn't really, yeah, I don't know.
He wanted what?
He wanted a donut, and I just thought I wanted to bring the spray paint.
Why did you bring the spray paint?
Well, we'd talked about, I'd seen other paint on the buildings around town, and I heard some kids at school talking about how they'd put some of the art on the buildings.
Right.
And we talked before about putting some of the paint.
Graffiti.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we really didn't decide we were going to get donuts. We decided we were going to go paint some walls.
Like, we kind of decided after the donut, I saw one of the buildings with the paint. I thought, oh, this would be a good moment.
Yeah, but you left the house with the paint in your backpack.
Yes.
Okay, so it seems to me you left the house intending to paint something outside of the house, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Brian already told me he hates art. Remember? That's the first thing out of his mouth, is he hated art.
Well, he wasn't probably going to do much of the painting anyways. He told me that when he used to do stuff, he could keep watch and kind of...
Oh, so he was going to stand guard.
I didn't agree to that. I'm trying to clean up my image, and so I didn't really want to be a part of it. And so
Did you tell him you would stand guard?
No.
Okay, so what were you supposed... Did y'all get a donut? Did that ever happen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Coming up on Supreme Justice.
What happened when he started spraying the wall?
I was just kind of nervous. I didn't know what to do. He was just...
You could have just gone home, right?
That's kind of what I did eventually.
After he was finished.
And later.
What didn't he do?
He did, however, on the third day start eating meat-based food in his costume by the food truck.
Were you eating meat by the vegan food truck?
I might have took a nibble.
Closed captioning provided by... If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Supreme Justice is back with the case of Shane Metcalf, who is suing Ethan Felder for negligence.
We get the donuts, then what?
So we were walking back, and Nick just said we should go this other way home.
Right.
And behind this building.
Right. You knew what was going on behind the building. Why are you pulling my leg? You knew what was going on. Why do I have to pull teeth to get the information here?
I've just never done anything like that, Your Honor, and it was my first time, and Nick said that he could keep watch if we ever did it. And
I want to hear Nick tell me that he agreed to keep watch.
We talked about it once before.
Did you agree to keep watch that night?
Not on that night, no. Your Honor.
What happened? What happened when he started spraying the wall? Then what did you do?
I was just kind of nervous. I didn't know what to do. He was just...
You could have just gone home. Right?
That's kind of what I did eventually.
After he was finished?
Well, he didn't finish the artwork.
What happened, Nicholas?
So I started painting on the side of the building, and then Brian was down the back of the building, down the street, looking around, and then I heard a police siren, and kind of got nervous, and I tried dropping the cans in like the bush next to me, but then I didn't want to like run because that would seem worse, and so
you just stood there.
Yeah.
Like a deer in the headlights.
Yes, Your
Honor.
And
so you got arrested?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what was he charged with?
Disturbing
mischief?
I got $600 for disturbing the peace, and I was told that I believed he was arrested because I was picking him up at the police station, but I was told they were just detaining him.
He didn't go into a cell or anything.
Yeah, they put him in the tank.
He had to sign a promise to appear in court and all. So that's what the $2,500 represents. What? Court
the $600. I can give it to you if need be. The $600.
Let me see. Let me see what
sure.
he has.
It's the $600 for the disturbing the peace and $1,900 to repaint the side of the building.
And you paid that. And why do you think that the defendant should pay this?
Because he said he would watch these two kids and did not.
But when you say watch children, and
yes.
We're going to have a dispute about whether we're dealing with children here at 17, but it's to make sure that they stay safe, don't go running out in the middle of the street and get hit by a car, or go in the knife drawer in the kitchen and stab somebody, or go find your gun upstairs in the attic and shoot somebody. It's not watching to make sure my son doesn't go down the street with some spray paint and do something proactively to paint a building.
I understand that, but these are all things that could have happened too.
Let me tell you, what he did that night at his house, he could have done that any other time. He could have just gone out the window of your house. He told you he had wanted for a long time to paint the building. He had been thinking about it for a long time. When he left that place, he left with the intent to paint the building, and it was not his responsibility, the defendant's responsibility, to make sure your son didn't go out and paint a building.
Perhaps, but it's not like my son told me I would enjoy painting a building. Please, may I find an opportunity? I entrusted him to the defendant,
have to tell you that.
And yet here we are.
He didn't have to tell you that. He knew the day that he picked up that mural with the pickup truck and he was going over there with this one here.
Yeah.
That he was going to have an opportunity because that building was just 2 blocks down the street. When they went to get donuts, he had his backpack with him. Okay, people have to take responsibility for their own actions. The problem here is not this defendant. The problem here is not his son. The problem is your child. Your child. And you look at all outside right here where your problem is standing right there next to you. Okay? That's the one that should be on punishment. That's the one shouldn't be able to use his cell phone. That's the one shouldn't be able to go to the movies. That's the one that shouldn't have any privileges until he does better. Your problem is right there. Even if I ordered him to give you $2,500, that has not solved your problem. You need to look at that person standing next to you and say, what are we going to do to solve your problem? What are you going to do to pay me back these $2,500 I had to pay for your malfeasance? What are you going to do? How many times are you going to cut the yard and trim the hedges and clean the car and change the oil or paint the garage floor? That's what you should be looking at. My parents, I could not have imagined when I was a child that I've gotten into trouble, that my parents would have gone to the neighbors, my friend's mama, and said that Karen shouldn't have done this. My daddy would have been looking at Karen, okay? Because discipline starts at home, all right? Case dismissed. Good luck to you.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
You know, I'm sorry the kids had to get mixed up in this. I really feel like, we can all learn something from this experience, and I hope the kids can still be friends.
I'm sorry. The judge is right. I really do need to keep a better eye on him.
Coming up.
So did you do all these things?
Yes.
Okay, did he do all this?
No.
What didn't he do?
He did, however, on the 3rd day start eating meat-based food in his costume by the food truck.
Closed captioning provided by... You're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Jonah King is suing avocado grower Brooke Sprightly in the amount of $612. Mr. King claims Ms. Sprightly hired him to dress as an avocado to promote her business and says she refuses to pay him for his services.
Mr. King, you're suing Ms. Sprightly for $612?
Yes.
And what type of business do you run?
Oh, I don't run a business, but I am contracted for a business, Mascot Incorporated.
Okay, so like what kind of mascot?
I was an avocado.
Okay, so Ms. Sprightly,
hello.
How do you know the plaintiff?
I didn't know him before we hired him. We hired him to be a mascot for Vegans of the Valley.
Okay, I see. And so how much do you get paid?
$17 an hour.
Okay, and so what did you contract him to do, ma'am?
It was a film festival with a lot of food trucks, predominantly with the integration of food with films and so on and so forth.
I understand. So what were you selling in your food truck?
We have a fries substitute called Cardo fries, and
made with avocado. Do you have a picture of the costume?
I do.
Let me see.
Here you go.
Okay. All right. Is that you and him?
No, that's
not you. Okay.
That's one of our customers.
Oh, okay. What happened?
First day I was just there to, wave the sign.
Right.
And she got me to do more activities.
Like what?
Hand out the food. And I was also doing social media stuff, taking pictures.
Right.
I came up with the name.
What's the
Andy
name?
the Avocado.
Well, what were you hired to do?
We hired him to promote and represent the company.
Right. Is there a contract?
Yes,
okay,
we have
let me
a contract.
see the contract, because I don't understand. Because you're telling me you went above and beyond all of that, passing out food and everything, taking pictures, running the social media.
Yes.
You were supposed to do sign spinning?
Yes.
To dance and do tricks?
Yeah, a little dance and a little jiggle.
Right, okay. That probably looked good in that avocado suit. Should expect to feel as one. Okay, so did you do all these things?
Yes.
Okay, did he do all this?
No.
What didn't he do?
He did, however, on the third day start eating meat-based food in his costume by the food truck.
Were you eating meat by the vegan food truck?
I might have took a nibble or two.
Coming up.
How many followers you got?
I got about like 10K.
How many do you have?
I'm not on social media, Your Honor.
Yeah, then you should have learned something from the avocado.
Closed captioning provided by. You're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. Supreme Justice is back with the case of Jonah King, who is suing Brooks Sprightly for non-payment of services.
You were supposed to make $612?
That's what I was led to believe I would make.
Okay, well, how much did you make?
35.
After 3 days worth of work?
No, that was his tip.
It was a tip.
You didn't pay him at all?
We did pay him. We paid him every cent that we in the contract said that we would, plus
$17 an hour for 6 hours a day.
Exactly, plus the $35 tip.
So why are you suing for $612?
Because I was doing more because her person, Cammie, didn't come in. So I was taking her place and handing out food. Right. And then I was also doing the social media promoter when I came up with Andy the avocado.
Right. Were you like posting on their social media page?
No, he was posting on his social media page.
Okay, you have a big social media following?
Yes. How many
followers you got?
I got about like 10K, but it don't show it on there, but it's a good 10K.
Right. He's got about 10,000 followers. How many do you have?
I'm not on social media, Your Honor.
Yeah, then you should have learned something from the avocado. Okay, that's where you need to be.
And when he taught me, I was grateful for it. That's when I said, thank you for coming and being a part of the team. We will give you an equal share of the tips that we receive as...
Oh, that's how he got $35?
Yes, with the other 2 employees that I have. He got
well, you did not have to agree to do all this other stuff. You could have said, that's not what I'm here for, and negotiated right then and there when she needed somebody. Hey, if I help you, how much are you going to pay me today?
Judge Karen's verdict when Supreme Justice returns. Promotional consideration provided by. You're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
Who paid for the avocado costume?
Oh, it was through my company.
Oh, through your company.
Yeah, so I got yelled at by my boss and got written up because it came back dirty.
It just wasn't your day. It just really wasn't your day, all right? I don't see, you should have put it in the writing. Or you should have had some understanding with her
I just
writing.
feel like 600 probably too much, but I do think I should get like a little bit more than just 600.
You need to start looking for your next gig. I'm ready to roll. Judgment for the defendant. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I lost in the avocado suit and I lost in the courtroom today.
I gave you what we agreed upon, and I felt I fairly compensated you through tips. I'm sorry if you felt taken advantage of.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.